Here's a question. How many of you have been in an argument and you hear someone say something that just doesn't sound right? Now, how many times have you actually looked at that statement and tried to find out whether or not it was true? I don't do it very often, and I don't think people do it very often, and I'd like that to change. That's what I want to persuade you of, that we should be getting people to justify what they're saying. We need to do this for two reasons. One is that we live in a democracy. We have to get people in a democracy to tell the truth. It's amazing in a democracy because we all have these different ideas, we all have these different points of view, these histories, these different types of wisdom, and we have this huge pool to choose from. So we need to decide which is the best idea. To do this, we need to step back, because of our human natures, we're kind of inclined to go along with what our family believes, what our friends believe, and instead we need to look at things objectively. We need to take in both sides of the point of view and really see which one has the most substantiated facts behind it, which one really goes towards helping people, or which one will make a better world. Then the other reason is truth. We all want to live in a world that is true to the world. We want to live in a society that has a connection to real world facts. This way we can solve problems more easily, we can solve problems in the right way. So we need to really delve into issues and look into the background of things rather than just taking things at face value. We do this too often. Going back to the democracy thing, the politician thing, politicians say things all the time without any proper explanation, without anybody demanding that they justify what they're saying with facts or with sources or anything like that. So all this misinformation is just constantly being spread around and on and on and on, so that this whole world of falsehood is being created. There are two different types of statements that people can make that maybe we can try to decide whether they're true or false. One is a results kind of statement, which is, this is like this because, or this is how it is. These are more easily able to find out about because they're more stats, they're more looking at numbers, which can be, time consuming, but if you do it correctly, you can pretty easily find sources for that. The more difficult one is an explanation kind of statement. This is why this is because of this. And we hear these all the time from politicians, from people who have very strong points of view but don't necessarily have anything to back up those points of view. It's a little bit more difficult. We need to kind of really search throughout history, throughout all different kinds of resources to try to pull and study these issues that are pretty difficult to get to the actual truth of the matter. And we can also ask experts, so we can get pretty close to it. We can really have some sort of idea of what's correct, as long as we are aware that people are saying these things, and doing it on purpose to create these false worlds, as I said before. And we don't want to live in a false world. We want to live in one that is based on truth. This way we can really sort through problems correctly in the right way. We can be closer to what we want our society to be, closer to the world. And if we keep letting this misinformation being spread, you see it on Facebook all the time, of things just being clicked, shared, and then that's it. There's these people believing all these things that are just completely false and incredibly harmful and dangerous. So I'd just like to repeat, maybe if we each, as much as we can, try to remember when we hear these things that are just slightly wrong, they just sound a little bit off, then maybe we can take that little bit of extra time and try to get to the truth of it and ask them to justify themselves and hold themselves accountable for any belief they might have that's unsubstantiated, because then we can maybe have a world that we all really enjoy, because it's closer to the truth of things.